All right, hey guys, WandaVision is back. There's a new episode. Full disclosure, we did a spoiler talk on the last episode, and then I got really swamped and could not edit it in time. And so I was gonna initially say like, oh, I'll just put it up after this, but I feel like this episode kind of makes anything we said last episode inconsequential.
I could agree with that, yeah.
Yeah. So right off the bat, this is a spoiler talk. Again. This is definitely a show where we can't really discuss mid-season episodes without just spoiling everything. So if you have not watched the episode, this is your warning. Bow out now. Also, we will be doing some heavy theorizing as to what's coming up. So if we accidentally get something right and you don't want to have anything potentially spoiled for you in the future, also maybe don't watch this. That being said, let's just get right into it because there's a lot to talk about today. What are your overall thoughts on the episode?
I thought it was a great episode.
I agree. I think this is pretty easily the best episode so far.
I was about to say possibly the best episode we've gotten so far. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty safe to say. I think the sitcom stuff is fun with some kind of creepy stuff in there. Last episode was a nice bit of context, but it was mainly just a massive exposition dump. This kind of washed the line, so we have some exposition in the real world, but we also had some good story propelling in the sitcom world, which I was not expecting. I thought this was going to be kind of more in the vein of the first three, where it would be a lot of sitcom, maybe some outside world stuff, but not really too much to push forward the story. But it actually kind of flipped, because I feel like the sitcom stuff is not even really much of a presence here at all.
It felt a lot less sitcom-y, and it felt more like the sitcom was just getting interrupted, like not in a bad way, but like sitcom kept on getting like cut off and like whatever by the real world,
Right.
Like it felt like the real world was a lot more heavily influenced into the sitcom at this point, whereas compared to the first three, it just felt like pure sitcom. It was just that.
Yeah.
This
and
one
then
it felt
last
like
week was just fully, completely outside world.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, and I like the balance. I said this in the last week's episode, where I really hope this is what they would do going forward. Like, this is exactly what I wanted out of the show.
No, yeah, it's exactly what we thought was going to happen, too.
Yeah.
To be honest. So, we were kind of, like, we were hoping, because it was just a theory for us.
Right.
But, yeah.
Yeah. I think it would have been really hard to just go straight back to the sitcom stuff. I think that stuff is fun, but I think it would have just been a little bit, after having a big dump of just all this information, I think it would have felt really strange to just go straight back to sitcom.
I agree with that, yeah.
Okay, so do you want to talk about is there any of the sitcom stuff that does stand out to you, though? Again, it's not super present, but the 80s is... you can definitely tell it's the 80s.
Yeah, it's the 80s now, and like you wrote here, the outfits, just it very much looks 80s, and I feel like part of the decor, like their couch changes, stuff like the decor around the house. Yeah. I feel like it changed from the last sitcom to this one too.
See, I didn't notice that, but I've seen people online talking about that, and I think that there are some there's subtle differences, but I think you're right. I think there are some things.
Like I kind of noticed, like when it first showed, I was like, did that thing change? But I wasn't entirely sure. So
right.
But I don't know if it was just to match the 80s theme or what. But
yeah, that's my guess. I mean, in the trailer and stuff, there's stuff that looks very like 2000s modern kind of stuff for some of the upcoming sitcom stuff. So I think the house is kind of subtly changing every week.
Yeah.
So there's some. Yeah, I think it's fine. There's not really any. I think the humor is not on par of the previous sitcom stuff. There is of course the theme song. What did you think about this one?
It felt lengthy. I don't know if it was like, I don't know.
That was definitely purposeful. Because I agree with you, but okay. I think that's to match the style of some of these 80s sitcoms.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's probably what it was. And then, so when they aired the commercial in the middle of it, Lagos, like I was like I couldn't remember what it was signifying when it was.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That's something that I did forget to write down in the notes. So yeah, Lagos is the city that Wanda accidentally blew up in Civil War.
Okay, gotcha.
And it's interesting because the tagline is "For when you make a mess you didn't intend to," which is very much what happened there.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's the ads. I feel like they don't strike me with as much significance as they did in the previous episodes, but I think that might be just because there's so much other shit happening that it's just kind of overshadowed right now.
Yeah, right now, yeah. Like especially like in the first 3 episodes, it was definitely a big point. Like, oh dang, like this is a thing.
Right.
This one, it was definitely like glanced over, like real quick, like yeah. But it was just
Okay, so let's talk about Agnes, shall we?
All right.
What do you think is going on with her? Because I'm kind of completely lost.
Right. Well, it was just weird because usually it seemed like she knew what was going on, but like she didn't like take it as like it was as a show.
Yeah.
This one instantly right off the gate, she's like, "Should we take it from the top?" Like
right.
she was like acting as an actor, in the show.
Yeah.
And it felt different. It was weirder.
Right.
I feel like she was a lot weirder. In that first part.
Yeah, I have to ask again, how aware do you think she is? Because we've touched on this before, but I feel like every episode we get different indications of that, so
yeah, I don't know, because it's weird, because is Agatha Harkness, like we speculate, or
I'm
is
still
she like
100% on board with that theory? Yeah, go ahead.
Or is it like Norm, where he's just a hostage that is in pain, but he's made to act like he's Norm, like he's just fine.
I went and rewatched one of the older trailers because I thought I recognized the effect of Vision waking Norm up. And so in next episode, I think next episode is the Halloween episode, right?
Okay.
When Vision goes up to Agnes's car and she's like, "Am I dead?" And then he's like, "No, why do you think that?" And she's like, "Because you are." Right before they have that exchange, Vision does the same thing he did to Norm.
Oh, really?
So that makes me think that maybe she's not completely aware, because it seems like he wakes her up. And so I'm just very confused, because it seems like she is, again, like you said, an actor in this thing. But so maybe I'm thinking, is everybody like that and we just haven't seen that before?
Yeah, like Vision hasn't messed it up for anybody really, unlike that one,
Right. So I'm very confused, because I have two very conflicting theories about Agnes, and I'll talk about my other theory later on, because it plays kind of more into some of the things that happen later in the episode. But regardless of everything, of anything, she is clearly like right at the center of a lot of what's happening here. And so I don't know what her deal is. I think we might figure out a lot more about her next episode, but I don't know. She's definitely an enigma right now, and I'm very confused as to what she's doing.
No, yeah. And then how she just wasn't fazed by the children, like just instantly aging and stuff like that,
Right. And Wanda just straight up creates a dog collar in front of her as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's a very, very strange thing. Actually, that's one thing I forgot to mention, the twins as well in my notes. Do you want to talk about them at all? I didn't really have anything to say.
Like, the only part I want to say is when the dog dies and you have that down there, so that was it.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. To me, they just felt like kind of just like plot devices.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. They really weren't that for me that important until when the dog scene, the dog death scene happens, and that's when it kind of went like interesting.
Right. Presumably, they will have more substantial stuff to do in the next episodes, because they are from the comics. So I imagine they're building to something there. I do have a question though. Are they actually Wanda and Vision's kids? Because,
well, according to Monica, yes, they are legitimately Wanda's kids.
How though? Is it just hers? Or because I mean, presumably, because Vision is he's a dead android right now, so
yeah, exactly. So I mean, I don't really know how it works, but according to Monica, yeah, they're legitimately Wanda's kids.
Maybe she just created them or something.
I don't know.
Okay, so then we do cut back to the sitcom world, to the real world, and we talked about this a little bit last week. So this kind of just proves definitively that Wanda broke into S.W.O.R.D. and stole Vision's body.
Yes.
Which Kevin Feige said that was initially an end credit scene in Endgame. So that lines up. I guess timeline-wise, I guess Monica, I think Monica said this happened like 9 days, or Hayward or whatever that dude's name is, said it happened like 9 days before this episode, which would make it about 3 weeks after Endgame. So I think that lines up with about when Monica and Jimmy showed up to Westview. And then, so what's the deal with Vision? Do you have any more ideas on that? Because I am now pretty certain that he is himself.
So it seems like she gave him like his own personality. I think she literally is just keeping him alive, but
Yeah.
he is himself.
Do you think
Like,
it is Wanda who's animating Vision?
I mean, it has to be either that or she somehow was able to replicate the Mind Stone enough to the point where. But even then, I don't think that's it, because in the last episode, we clearly saw that he was straight, just gray vision, no Mind Stone in his head, but he was still moving and talking.
Right. Yeah. So there's some discussion to be had here, I think, because Wanda does have a whole thing later where she says she can't revive dead people. So
exactly, yeah.
I don't know if she's just lying or if maybe it's a thing where Vision is synthetic, so it's easier. But
or maybe I think possibly she might be lying because she didn't want to like reveal that Vision was dead and she was just reviving him.
Okay.
And then at the same time, eventually, I guess I'll get there later on. But
okay.
Yeah.
So Vision wakes up Norm. I think his name is Abalash. I apologize if I messed that up.
I don't remember what his actual name was.
Yeah. This scene is really great.
I
was super into this.
Good, actually.
Yeah. This is super creepy. I really like that, even though it's only a PG show, they're able to put in these really creepy scenes still like this. Even down to just everybody in the office reading out the email. That was really freaky. Like, that was really cool. But so this proves my theory that we talked about a little bit last week, that they are all hostages. And it also seems that they are also aware of what's happening on some level all the time.
According to Norm, yeah.
Yeah, that does kind of reinforce my theory that Mrs. Hart was definitely talking to Wanda in that first episode. So my question is, why do sometimes they seem to have awareness, like full awareness? Like, is it Wanda's or whoever's control slips just a little bit because of something that happens in the world, and then like they get distracted, and then their control slips enough for some of their actual personality to pop through?
I honestly don't. Like, I can't, like, right, because we still assume right now that it's Wanda that is doing stuff.
See, I've got some thoughts on that, which I'll get to in just a little bit here, but yeah, keep going.
I have some thoughts on that too.
Yeah.
But, like, it's different because, right, so if it was Wanda controlling Norm like all the time, then how would she know, like, right, because she's not in the office with them.
Right.
So is it just all, like, she can see the entire show from her head?
I mean, Wanda is incredibly powerful. I think that is potentially within the limits of her power. I think she can maybe do that, but I think she also makes a good point when she's talking to Vision, which is like, why the hell would she, like, control all of their, all of them to the dentist and their dog walks and all that? Like, that's a lot of, like, intricacy and detail, and I don't think she'd necessarily be able to focus on all of that and still be able to have all the complexity that she's been having in her own life. So, yeah, I'm kind of with you there. I don't think she's controlling the people, because also, if you notice in this scene, Norm never says Wanda.
He just says...
He says, she's in my head, you have to stop her, but that's, like, it.
Yeah.
So, I think, and this completely contradicts what I was talking about earlier, but I think it's Agnes. I'm kind of leaning towards the tendency that she might be the villain of the series. I don't know if you would agree on that, but I don't know. Just also, I mean, again, like you said, the fact that she's just kind of unfazed by everything, like I think she has to know more than what she's letting on. And so I think if she is Agatha Harkness, which is the common theory, she is incredibly powerful as well. I think she could totally do it. So, I don't know. That's kind of where my head is at, and I've got a little bit more thoughts on that later. But yeah, do you have differing opinions there?
My only thing is, if it is Agatha, right? Why would she want to, like, ruin it for Vision and Wanda by saying this thing at the beginning, like, do you want me to take it from the top, and just acting weird like that? right? Because clearly Vision has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, but maybe it's a situation of just previously when that kind of stuff has happened, Wanda or someone, or I think probably Wanda has rewound it, right? So maybe she
Yeah.
just kind of was like, okay, we'll do this again from the top, and then you'll cut whatever we just messed up. That's kind of maybe what my theory is right now. I'm probably wrong because there is other evidence that completely cancels out that theory, so I don't know. But
Yeah, exactly.
she's definitely involved in some area, but it's really difficult to figure out how right now.
Yeah, it is difficult to figure out. I don't know.
Do you have anything more on this scene here? We'll get back to Addison in a little bit, but
No, not really.
okay. So Wanda breaks out of the
Westview
of
anomaly.
Westview.
I
Yeah.
guess we could start calling it the Hex, can't we?
We can. That's what they. I don't. You actually probably know this as well because I think we've read her first appearance in the comics. But that's what they call her powers in the comics as well. So that was a fun little Easter egg, her hex powers. Yeah. So this was incredible. I loved this scene.
Yeah, this was a really good scene, actually.
Yeah. You and I did some trailer analysis after we stopped recording last week, and we
We did.
noticed the silhouette. We figured it was probably Wanda. I did not think it was going to happen this soon.
Yeah.
I also this I think includes my favorite shot of the series so far, which is where the drone swoops in and then Wanda's eyes flash red. That is super cool.
And
I
then
just really like that
the
shot.
image cuts out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have too much to say about the scene, but it is super badass. I love how she just without any like exertion whatsoever just turns all of the people on Hayward. Is his name Hayward or is it something else?
Hey, it's Hayward. I'm pretty sure I thought it was.
Yeah, it's super cool. And Wanda's in like full villain mode, but there is some stuff that again, even here makes me think that again, she's maybe not controlling everybody. Or even most people, because Monica, whoever says like you're holding all these people hostage, and then she's like, I'm not the one with the guns, which is that's a weird thing to say if she was controlling people, because I'm like, those are very different.
Yeah.
Like those are not really comparable.
No, yeah, exactly.
So I think maybe she's not controlling the people and she's just like, what are you talking about? I'm not doing anything. You guys are pointing guns at me. So I think that's maybe, again, maybe a little bit more evidence to suggest that she's not controlling the people. It also does mean that she can leave Westview, which cancels out one of my theories from last week, where I thought that maybe she made a deal with a villain to stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's super cool, man. It's really well shot. It just also her accent comes back. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I was about to mention, like, in the sitcom, there's no accent, but it came back when she left Westview. Yeah.
Right. I think it's probably a situation of she's just fitting the archetype of the sitcom world, so she drops the accent when she's in there. But I think because we also heard it a little bit when she was about to boot Monica out. I think it was more subtle than it was here, but
it definitely was a little subtle. Yeah. It was mostly in the word like leave.
Right.
Like I think you should leave. Like it came out a little bit in that.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't have too much else to say on this. I don't know. Do you have anything else on this one?
No, besides the shot of her turning like, all the agents against Hayward and just like
so
her
cool.
Just walking right back in.
Yeah.
And just the entire like electrical anomaly thing like just glowing red.
Yeah, what was up with that?
I think
it
I don't know
if that red afterwards as well.
Yeah, I think that's just a byproduct because it's just her like opening like a door into it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the first time I think we've really seen full-on Scarlet Witch Wanda, which I think is super cool.
Yeah,
she's one of my favorite. She's probably in my top 3 favorite Marvel Comics characters. I think she's awesome. So it's just great to see her like actually get some stuff to do that's not just whatever she was doing in Age of Ultron or whatever.
No, agreed.
I think Sparky was murdered by Agnes.
What would be the reason behind that, though?
I think she wanted to either test to see if Wanda would revive him or to see if the kids would age up again.
Right, okay, so somebody has to be controlling, right? It clearly wasn't Wanda because she wouldn't murder the dog, I don't think. And spark this whole conversation about bringing people back to life when Vision is right there.
Well, also, she wasn't even in...
she wasn't in
Westview when Sparky died. So
assuming, whatever. But I don't know.
I don't think like Agnes like physically killed the dog, but
No,
I think she put those azaleas or whatever the flower was out there, knowing that Sparky would eat it, and I think that was completely intentional.
no, yeah. I'm not saying like she's like straight up just like
Like
snap
clubbing
that
it to
thing,
death or
snag,
something.
like yeah, no. But I don't know if it was murder, if it was just specifically that, it was just trying to follow the sitcom thing of it was like an episode on death or whatever,
Okay, right. It was interesting because then Wanda made that whole speech on death, and I'm like, do you hear what you're saying? Like,
Exactly. No, I feel like that was the whole like reason behind that was
yeah,
that like it kind of also made her realize that what she's doing is being like super hypocritical towards her own
right.
like words.
So I was wondering if you saw that as well, because I think there is a little bit of realization on her face during the speech
I
where she's
felt
like,
like
what?
yeah, she was like talking to her the twins, and then like halfway like as she was like kind of kept on talking, she was like low key like slowing it like her words down, like
Right.
realizing like I shouldn't even be like saying any of this
Yeah.
right now.
Right. Okay. Do you have any more on this scene?
Nah, nah.
Okay. So Wanda and Vision have their first like legitimate fight, not physical fight, but
Uh,
like actual big blowout argument. You and I came around to this as well, so it's not like I completely disagreed with this, but you thought this was going to be an actual like full on action sequence, correct?
I didn't think it was gonna be like full on like they were gonna
Uh,
start flying like themselves through the walls and stuff like that.
yeah,
But I thought it was gonna escalate more than just them levitating and then floating back down.
right.
I did think it was gonna be
Um,
more, at least more than that.
yeah. See, we had like wildly contrasting theories initially based on the trailer because you were like, it's going to be a fight, and I was like, nah, they're just using their powers for fun sitcom times. That's
Yeah,
what I thought it was.
yeah.
So we were kind of both wrong there.
Oh yeah,
Um,
just a smidge, yeah.
this is probably my favorite scene of the episode. I think the acting here, man, they are really giving it their all. I have never like Paul Bettany in particular really stood out to me. I think Elizabeth Olsen's best scene in this episode was definitely when she was out confronting Sword, but Paul Bettany killed it in this scene. Like he was, I think this is one of the best acted and written scenes in the MCU. This is what I really like about the TV shows is that it gives more time for like actual character development. Like we would not have a scene like this, I feel, in the movies. There's just not enough
Oh
time for it.
no, definitely not.
So I love that this is able to happen. I think this is fantastic. Yeah, I really love the scene. It's really good. And I'm glad they didn't just have like Wanda mind wipe Vision or something. Like they're gonna have to actually deal with this conversation going forward as well.
Yeah, like Wanda realizes that like Vision is realizing there's something going on and she's just trying to evade it the entire time. Like the beginning of the fight, the credits were just going on. Like they didn't just
That
stop
was
the
so
credits.
jarring. That was really strange.
Like the show kept on going on even though the
Yeah.
credits were being rolled. So like basically everything, if you assume it's like the TV show, everything after the credits was not aired.
Yeah, completely. There's no way they they put that out there. Well, but also at the same time though, Darcy and everybody outside saw the Quicksilver reveal.
Yeah,
So
that is also true.
I don't know. Maybe she just cut the fight out, but and maybe it's like a post credit scene.
Maybe.
Back in the 80s.
It's like a teaser to the next episode. Just
Right.
sees Pietro.
Yeah. Yeah, well, but going back to the fight a little bit, you said that she was trying to evade it, but I think she's genuine in a lot of what she was saying there. I don't think it seemed like she was actually genuine about most of what's happening. There are some things that made me think, okay, maybe she is somewhat in control. She was like, just let me handle it. And, there was that whole thing where he was like, you can't control me like you control everyone else. And she's like, can't I? Which then kind of makes it seem like she just admitted to it, but I still don't think it's her. I don't know. I feel like she was genuine there, and I don't think again, I don't think it's necessarily her who's doing this. Let's talk about Quicksilver.
Alrighty.
So I kind of had this spoiled for me a little bit because I like to watch other reviews of other YouTubers who put out reviews for this just to see what other people are thinking about it. And so I guess because of that, I got recommended a video that was like WandaVision leaked promo episode 5 and 6, and I didn't click on the video, but the thumbnail was just a picture of Evan Peters Quicksilver, and I was like, well, god damn it. But also I didn't believe it, so So I was still quite shocked. Even still now having seen it, I still don't really believe it. Um, but yeah, what was your reaction here?
Well, I mean, I knew this Quicksilver, like the X-Men Quicksilver, was going to be in the show.
Yeah, it was
Um,
heavily rumored, and I think it was leaked.
well, I looked at, like, if you literally, I'm pretty sure if you just go to Google and search WandaVision in the cast, he's there.
Oh, see, I have not done that because I just don't want to get like character reveals spoiled for
So
me. So I
like
kind of stay away from that.
I already knew he was going to be in WandaVision. I just
Yeah,
wasn't expecting him to show up now.
yeah.
It makes sense that it's this Quicksilver and not the Age of Ultron Quicksilver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think, and I don't know if this is where you are at as well, but I think probably what happened is when she was thinking about him earlier, when her kids were
Yes.
questioning her about it, I think it was a subconscious thing where her mind tried to get Quicksilver back, but since this Quicksilver is dead, she just pulled one in from the multiverse.
I don't know if she pulled one in for the multiverse or if this is just like someone that looks like it's just like you know how like there's like, just like someone just looks like it's I don't think it's specifically that Quicksilver. Like I don't think this guy is actually like has powers and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just they just grabbed that actor.
So okay, I have a bit of a counter for that because the really great podcast Weekly Planet. If you haven't heard of it, you should definitely go watch it. They talk about all the stuff we talk about, except they're much funnier and better stuff than this. But they mentioned that if you watch the episode with the audio description on, it says Quicksilver from the X-Men films appears in the description of the episode when it's playing. So I think it might be him, man. I think it might actually be that version. And that kind of leads me into another theory, because he recognizes Wanda, right?
I think that was more of a sitcom thing, but yes, he does.
I agree, but I have a way out there theory about it. You want to hear this?
All right, let me hear it.
I think maybe he knows Wanda because he has a Wanda as a sister in his dimension as well. I think maybe, and this is way out there and it's definitely not true, but maybe she's the one who's controlling everybody. Because Monica also seemed to think that it was Wanda in her mind when she was Geraldine. So maybe alternate universe Wanda has come in here and is actually the one controlling everybody. I mean, it's definitely probably not true.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I even like that theory, honestly.
Yeah, no, I don't want that to happen, but I'm just trying to find something that wraps up all of the weird plot holes that all my other theories are creating. Yeah, I don't know. But if it is him, if it really is, so okay. Also, isn't he Peter in the X-Men movies? He's not Pietro, right?
No, I'm pretty sure his name is Peter in the X-Men movies.
If it is him, I guess we have the first mutant in the MCU.
I guess, yeah, technically yes.
I was not expecting that to happen this early, but I guess this wasn't supposed to be the first thing in Phase 4. So I don't know, man. There have been, I don't know if you heard about this, but Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany both have teased like super, super big characters that are going to be showing up at some point. I don't think this is that. I think there's more besides Quicksilver. Do you think he's even going to be around that long?
I mean, he's definitely going to be in at least next episode.
Yeah, I think he will be. I don't know, but even that might just be he's there for 2 minutes and then he's gone.
Right, because I think he's going to interact with the twins in some sort of way.
Okay.
Possibly he's like him and Vision go trick-or-treating with the twins, and then the twins go off with the Pietro. And then that's why Vision is just like seemingly alone and like wandering.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I think it's not out of the question for Doctor Strange to show up at some point as well, because this does tie into Multiverse of Madness, supposedly. That's also what makes me think that maybe this is actually him, like X-Men Quicksilver, because we know it ties into Multiverse of Madness.
We do.
I don't know.
Isn't Scarlet Witch supposed to be in that one too?
She is, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It kind of threw me off because I I wasn't even really expecting it, even though I kind of knew what was happening. It was so weird seeing him just standing across from Wanda as well. That was such a weird. I just got such like whiplash seeing that because I was like, this is
It
not
was
where I'm used to seeing
strange.
him.
And then, right, because clearly this guy doesn't look like the one from Marvel, right?
He also doesn't know Vision as well.
Yes, he doesn't. So does she realize that that's not her actual brother, or does she just? How does that work?
Yeah, I don't know. And it is also interesting though because he responded to Pietro. He didn't say, "Oh no, my name is Peter."
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I don't know. It's just I was not expecting a big reveal this episode. You know, I thought we'd maybe get an action sequence, and that would be the big thing this episode.
Yeah.
But I was not expecting an actual big reveal. That makes me think maybe we're not going to get as big a reveal next episode. But I do have some theories about what's going to happen next episode. So I don't know if you are you ready to move on here? Or do you have any more Quicksilver thoughts?
No. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Okay, so what do you think is going to happen next episode? Just out of curiosity before I spout my stuff.
Right. So we're assuming it's going to be the Halloween episode.
I think that's probably pretty likely.
So if it's the Halloween episode, then he wakes up Agnes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever. I'm pretty sure we see the lady like hanging up sheets, and then like
Yep.
it cuts to her like crying, and then all of a sudden she's not. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that was what it was. One scene.
Yep, that is that one.
Do you think this is also the episode where Vision tries to escape Westview?
Yep, you pretty much hit my theory exactly. I think he goes to talk to Agnes. I think he finds out some stuff because of that, and then he goes to break out of Westview.
Gotcha.
And then potentially he dies.
I mean, basically, yeah. If he leaves Westview, he should. At
See,
least.
I thought that initially, but now that we seem to know, it seems like when things that went into Westview leave Westview, they stay as they were in Westview. Because Monica's vest
Also
is
true.
still the clothes, so maybe he will stay alive. I don't know.
Also true. Then that's got to be some insane power right there.
Yeah, well, right. I know. I think that's the thing. I think Wanda is powerful enough where she could do that, but I don't think she could do that while still remaining so seemingly like, just kind of carefree. And I think it would really weigh on her. I think it would be a huge physical toll on her. I think it would leave her just completely wasted. I don't think, and I also don't think she could necessarily maybe keep it up for this amount of time.
Right? Because like if Vision comes back to life on the outside world, that means she recreated the Mind Stone.
Maybe, but I don't know. See, that's interesting because I don't know how the Mind Stone plays into all this because it is in one of the trailers. There's that kind of shot where Wanda like touches the Mind Stone and then there's a blue light and everybody gets thrown back or something and it's a big Mind Stone and she's in like a black void. Do you remember that?
I don't know.
It's from like the second trailer that they released back during the Disney Investor Day.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. But I think next episode Vision breaks out, and then we have the Halloween episode, which also I'm excited to see their comic accurate costumes. They look terrible, but
I guess the Mind Stone never got destroyed, right? It got destroyed. She destroyed it, and then Thanos brought it back with the Time Stone.
Right.
So where did Cap drop it off?
That's actually a good question. I hadn't thought about that.
Is the question. So technically, it's still on Earth because it was originally on Earth in Loki's staff. So where is Loki's staff? Where is the Mind Stone?
Wouldn't it just be in an alternate dimension?
Well, no, because right, he brought it back. I feel like Vision should technically be alive in some sense, right?
Yeah, I mean, it seems that way.
Right, because Cap had to take the Mind Stone back somewhere. Last place it was before Thanos was in Vision's head.
Right.
So unless he brought it back like even farther for some reason, I don't know. Or they just kept it.
Didn't they grab it from Avengers 2012?
The Mind Stone? Yeah, they grabbed Loki's staff. Okay.
So
yeah,
wouldn't
they
they
grabbed
have
the Mind Stone from
dropped
Loki's
it back
staff.
there?
So he would have had to drop it back there. So in the end, right, if that never happened, basically, right, because them grabbing the Mind Stone never happened, then in the end, yeah, Vision is still dead.
But also that's because that's an alternate universe as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, so I don't know. But I think my general idea on where things are going, just in total, is I feel like I have a pretty good idea on what's going to happen next episode. At least a general, some things that will happen. Episode 7, I don't really know what's going on there. I think that's kind of probably going to be like the Office style sitcom episode.
Okay.
I think episode 8 will be the big reveal episode where we'll see everything from kind of Wanda's point of view, because I think in that most recent trailer they released, the mid-season trailer, I think you can see her in Sword's, like the room where she broke out Vision, but from a different angle, like not from the camera angles, like from her point of view.
Okay,
So I
gotcha.
think we will be getting a big explanation of what happens there. So I mean that's probably episode 8, and then I think 9 is the wrap up where Wanda is going back through all of the sitcom eras, because there is a shot in the trailer that has not happened yet of black and white Vision saying like Wanda, welcome home, and then you also see from I think from the Super Bowl trailer last year where she was full color and she was in the black and white world. So I think we're gonna be seeing a lot of that. There's also the scene from the latest trailer where she's like turning the black and white world into the color world. It's very strange. I don't know really what's going on, but I think that's all happening. So I think we might see the Mind Stone stuff maybe end of episode 7, and then 8 will be kind of a big explanation episode.
Okay.
And eventually, it seems like Vision comes around to Westview at some point, because there is also a shot in one of the earlier trailers where he goes, where Wanda's like, "This is our home," and he's like, "Then let's fight for it." So I don't know.
That
It
is
seems like
also
he kind of
true.
comes around. So I don't know, but yeah, you got any thoughts on any of that, or?
No, I mean, I don't. But yeah,
I mean, I'm probably wrong on all of that, but
I mean, okay. So where do you think? Right, because we clearly saw in the like I think it was one of the promos, the little vehicle that tries to break in, and they clearly talked about that last episode.
Right.
Where do you think that will come in?
Maybe 7.
Okay.
Because maybe Vision breaks out and then they talk to him a little bit and they're like, okay, we got to get back in there.
Get in there, so they make that. Okay.
Yeah. That's actually. Do you want to talk about the theory about who the aerospace engineer could be that Monica mentions? There's a theory going around that it's Reed Richards, which I think is completely ridiculous. I think there's no way that's who it is.
That would be. Oof. I don't know if they want to reveal that soon.
Yeah, I don't think I'm almost positive it is not Reed. There's no way.
Yeah, that seems a little far fetched.
Yeah.
That one definitely
and then
seems
also,
a little far fetched.
I guess it is worth noting that Monica did not seem super happy when Captain Marvel's name came up.
Yeah.
I don't really know what to make of that. Maybe she blames her for her mom's death, but
Well, she can't. I think she blames her for leaving for some reason.
Yeah,
like
right.
She left them alone. Never came back to visit or whatever.
Right. I think it's like that, and then so she wasn't there when her mom died or something. I think maybe Monica paged her or something, and then she just didn't come back.
Yeah, something like that. She clearly is upset at something, but I don't think she can't blame her for her mom's death.
Well, maybe there's a thing of maybe Carol emits some radiation or something that kind of caused the cancer. I'm thinking that's possible. I don't think it's likely, but I don't know. All sorts of theories. You got anything else on this, or should we wrap this up?
No, I think we're good. We're good.
All right. So yeah, thanks everybody for listening. Let us know what's maybe some theories you have in the comment section if you want. Don't spoil any of the leaks. I don't know if there are any more leaks, but I don't want to know if there are. Yeah, thanks for watching. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed what we were saying, or dislike it if you didn't enjoy it. We don't mind. I mean, we prefer a like, but whatever. And if you want to hear more about our crazy WandaVision stuff, you can subscribe, and we'll maybe be talking more about it. I don't know if we're going to do one next week, but I'm assuming that we might end up doing the last 3 or something, because I think there'll probably be a lot of stuff to talk about. Yeah, anyway, thanks again for watching. We have an email, earthsmightiestcomics@gmail.com, all one word, and no apostrophe in Earths. That's all for now. We will see you sometime in the future. Go watch the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.